Gary Semix here again. So far in this technique series we covered body positions and movements, braking, clutch, throttle, and shifting control, flat corners, and berm corners. And I showed you the techniques that apply to all these factors of motocross. And that comprised of 5 DVDs. I also showed you the methods and strategies on how to practice these techniques, how to learn them and make them become automatic. Now I want to take those same methods and strategies and show you how they apply to one of the most exciting elements of motocross, jumping. When you understand and practice the correct techniques of jumping, you'll gain the confidence and control to be comfortable and relaxed while hitting any type jump. How can you jump comfortably when you're not comfortable and have a white knuckle grip on the handlebars? Well, that's no way to enjoy motocross. So watch this DVD over and over many times, taking 1 or 2 techniques at a time and working on them until they become automatic. Before long, you'll be jumping with confidence and control. And best of all, it will be more fun and safer. Again, let's remind ourselves that your control for jumping is still going to be coming from the first 3 DVDs that we covered in this series. Body positions and movements, braking, clutch, throttle, and shifting control. Now braking, you say, well, wait a minute, braking doesn't have anything to do with jumping. And it usually doesn't. We'll get in more into that in the next DVD where we work on staying low. But a lot of times you will drag the rear brake all the way off of the jump. So sometimes your braking control does have something to do with your jumping, which you'll see in the next DVD. But the body positions and movements is definitely going to have a lot to do with your jumping. And the throttle is going to have a lot to do with it, and being in the right gear. And a lot of times you'll use the clutch. If you're just hitting a jump out of a corner, you have to use the clutch, which you learned when we covered the clutch, throttle, and shifting control in that DVD. So a lot of the things you already learned are going to apply to jumping. Now you're going to see how to do that. If there was only one kind of jump in motocross, it would be pretty simple. But as you know, there are many faces to jumps, pun intended. There are many different shapes and sizes of jumps, many different soil conditions from tacky, slippery, hard, soft, wet, dry, you name it, motocross has it. Remember to, again, I know I've been saying this a lot through this series, but it's really important. Remember to slow yourself down enough that your mind and body has the time to coordinate and make sure that you're doing the technique correctly. Don't try to go too fast that you can't do the technique right. Get the technique down, even if you go real slow, to get it down. And then through that repetition of doing the technique correctly, it becomes automatic. It's easier and easier. That's when you can really gain a lot of control and be able to carry a lot of speed. Before you begin to work on more difficult type jumps, it's first necessary to master the basic easy type jump. I hope you remember and use the practice methods and strategies you learned in the first 3 DVDs. We'll start with the takeoff parts of jumps, then we'll cover landings a little later. So first, let's start in a stationary position. Okay guys, like we've been talking about,